thanks for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Indigenous Federation of Madre de Dios, FENAMAD, where I work as part of its team of advisors. I will start saying that FENAMAD is an indigenous organization of the Peruvian Amazon and is representative of the indigenous peoples of the Madre de Dios River Basin, 7 ethnic groups and 37 communities, 35 in the region of Madre de Dios and 2 in Cusco. And it was created in 1982 by the communities to defend their territories and collective rights. Next, please. So in this opportunity, I want to share with you how FENAMAD is incorporating technology to strengthen 2 monitoring systems that are currently operating with the participation of the communities. The first one is the protection of the rights of isolated and initial contact peoples and their territories. And the second one is the protection of indigenous communities and forests from external pressures from illegal activities such as logging, mining, colonization, and others. And in particularly, I'll speak about a specific area of work of FENAMAD called the Veeduría forestry oversight system. The main aim of this presentation is to broadly summarize the ongoing process in each one of these 2 community-based monitoring systems, with the aim to contribute to development and new ideas. Since both of them, there's been some developments in each one of these 2 monitoring systems in recent years. Next, please. Yes. Okay. In this map, you can see the territorial jurisdiction of FENAMAD and the region of Madre de Dios. And as you can see, it's located in the southeastern Peruvian Amazon in the border area of Brazil and Bolivia. Next. And next. Yes, thank you. Most of the region is covered by tropical rainforest, which occupies an estimated area of 7.9 million hectares, which is 19.5 million acres. The region is also known as the biodiversity capital of Peru, and actually 60% of the region's surface is categorized as nature protected areas. Madre de Dios also stands out for its cultural diversity, and the region is home to the ancestral territory of 7 different ethnic groups and a number of highly vulnerable indigenous peoples in isolation and initial contact. In this slide, you can see this cluster of nature protected areas and indigenous lands in Madre de Dios, and which actually makes up for the least intervened and best preserved forest areas in Madre de Dios. The next one. Actually, the social and environmental importance of Madre de Dios and also its fragility is even more prominent when you consider that this area is also part of a large, vast transnational territory of isolated and initial contact peoples of Panoan and Arawakan family, which is represented in red and gray. Overlapping, this is not obviously a territory exclusively inhabited by isolated peoples, but also shared territories with other indigenous groups. The next one, please. And the next one. Yes. Okay, so this cluster of these territories are actually threatened by development initiatives, colonization, and unregulated extractivism and other activities. And the background context of these socio-environmental conflicts in the region is exemplified in this series of maps. In the first one, you see the logging concessions. The next one, which is the extractive frontier. This is the gold mining concessions, as you can see, overlapped with the lands of the indigenous communities. The next one, and the road building. I'm just the next one and the next one. Yes. The last one is a projection. Yeah. Um, so so this final image actually summarizes the overlapping existing between high impact economic activities and conservation and indigenous rights in the region. The context on the ground is very dynamic. This is just a fixed picture, but the pressures and the advance of this frontier towards new areas of the forest and indigenous territories is actually very fast. And Madre de Dios shows record high deforestation levels, many of them associated to gold mining activities. No, the next, just a visual image of that point. Um, so, um, so, in response of the challenges of this context, the FENAMAT has established so far 2 community-based systems of monitoring. The first one, yeah, is a system aimed to protect isolated peoples in isolation, and FENAMAT has a long trajectory promoting their rights and the protection of these groups under the principle of non-contact, like around 3 decades. The next one, please. Okay, in this area, community level forest monitoring is one of the central protective measures implemented, no? As it provides the basis to prevent forceful contacts and other risky situations involving external actors and potential threats and impacts to the territories. The next one, please. Yeah. Okay. As you can see, the monitoring system is mostly organized around a network. It's actually focused on areas shared by indigenous communities, indigenous people settled in communities, and indigenous peoples in isolation, right? So this monitoring system is mostly organized around a network of control posts, which are operated by FENAMAT and the communities and the government authorities, specifically the Ministry of Culture, right? Next one. Right. The previous one, please. Yeah. These are the main elements of the local system of protection of isolated peoples, right? And it's a very, in a way, traditional, or it doesn't really involve complex technologies. No, it's basically tracking the evidences of isolated peoples to be able to prevent encounters, contacts, and identify any threats to the territory. No, now while these on-the-ground actions are key, the protection of these vast and highly threatened areas demand also new approaches to monitoring. And FENAMAT has recently incorporated satellite imagery, and I'm going to show you a specific case that we used like 2 years ago. The next one. Yeah. Okay. So this is the Territorial Reserve of Madre de Dios. It was created in the year 2002 to protect isolated peoples. It's an area of around 800,000 hectares. And after FENAMAT presented evidence that isolated peoples living beyond this area, the original area, the government agreed to expand this reserve in 2016. Well, the main problem of that was that the expansion included areas of logging concessions where the presence of isolated peoples have been demonstrated, as you can see. The next one. Okay. Right. So the expansion agreement is still pending so far from November 2016. And the logging activities in the proposed area of expansion are continuing. This context is particularly worrying in this context because the existing threat of COVID. So, as you can see, FENAMAT was able to use satellite images to show the next one, please. the progress of the work in this area that was supposed to be protected from the activities of the local company. And these are the roads and camps. Next, the previous one. Yeah. So FENAMAT complemented the use of satellite imagery with field expeditions to show the large-scale environmental impacts on the ground. And this is the case of this road or bridge. Next. Okay. The next one, please. And moreover, the threats faced by isolated peoples by external actors were further illustrated by a camera trap photos in the nearby control post of Cernam, which showed a group of isolated peoples in the surroundings of the house, of the infrastructure. And you can see the distance of the road and the control post is a very small distance of 9 kilometers. Next one. And these are the camera trap photos taken by the personnel of the the next one and the next one. So as a whole, the use of satellite images, fieldwork, and these images clearly show a picture of of the kind of threats and vulneration of rights that are happening now in this area. Okay. So the next, I will move now to a second community-based system of monitoring, and it is the Veeduría Forestal. In response to external pressures and threats across the Peruvian Amazon, indigenous organizations have created their own forest oversight programs, or Veedurías. And these Veedurías are technical units dedicated to building capacities to improve the management of the forests and to provide support to defend territorial rights. The Peruvian law actually recognizes indigenous and local monitoring as comités de vigilancia y control forestal comunitario. The next one. FENAMAT's own Veeduría Forestal was created in 2003. Its main objective actually are, threats to the land of the communities from illegal activities, and although also it also works with the communities in strengthening forest governance and good practices. The next one. The structure of a Veeduría Forestal includes a technical unit, which is based in FENAMAT's office. And among its work, it builds capacities, provides support to the monitoring work in the community, and also coordinates the appropriate actions to address the alerts and reports received from the community. So the second element of the Veeduría Forestal is a community-based monitoring system. So far, 18 participant communities and 40 trained certified monitors and veedores. So far, the Veeduría has strengthened its capacities by the use of two new technologies. The first one is the Forest Link system, which enables the community to transmit reports, georeference reports, even in areas with no mobile or internet community. And this has been developed in partnership between FENAMAT and Rainforest Foundation UK. A second technology that is being used, the previous one was started, the use of the previous one was in 2016. This one is more recent in 2019. And the use of drones it's started to use, it's complementary to the Forest Link system. And now both drones and the Forest Link technology are a first system of real-time alerts. And the system is operating, but it's still in very early stages of development. Now FENAMAT is working to strengthen these capacities with satellite alerts, establishing alliances with Amazon Conservation and ACA as main partners. And this would be an additional system of alerts that are available for FENAMAT and its communities, and which would provide data for ground truthing activities. Well, this is, I'm going to go through this monitoring, the different steps of the system, monitoring and collection, reporting, database and planning, verification, And this, next, and enforcement. And just to say that 2018, 2020, FENAMAT submitted 15 legal actions based on alerts generated in communities. And these actions have led to arrests and the seizure of mining equipment across Madrid's region. In 2019, thanks to those actions, more than 1.5 million of illegal mining equipment was destroyed by the authorities. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry that I went over the time.